Yo, what is up, guys? And we are back for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and I just wanted to let you guys know this news definitely did not escape me, and I am extremely hyped. You guys see on your screen here, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and the other Super Saiyan 4s are coming to Dokkan Battle, and what I wanted to do for you guys today is kind of give my thoughts on what I think this celebration could look like. And specifically what I want to talk about is what these units could look like. So it's going to be really interesting. Historically, these Dragon Ball Heroes units have like ridiculously insane passives, but they're just a little bit limited by their stats. If we look at a unit like Cumber, for instance, I believe he has 150% attack and defense. I believe so. I'd have to check that. And I believe he gets that on super attack, but like he greatly lowers attack and defense. He has this chance to stun super type units, or excuse me, super class units if they hit him. Like, it's a really unique mechanic. It's really cool, right? But he's not usually hitting over like 2 million attack stats because he's limited by like a 13,000 attack stat. In a similar way to like the STR Demon King Piccolo, 200% attack and defense, but he's not usually cracking 1.5 million even with support because his stats are so low. So similar situations to all of these Dragon Ball Heroes units. So I think that this is a really good chance for them. So what I want to do is, you guys are going to see these images on your screen, and I'm just going to go over the units and what I feel like they will look like. So starting with Vegito, I think that this is an incredible opportunity for Dokkan to introduce a 170% time travelers leader. And in a similar way, when we talk about the next unit, you'll understand what I mean, but in a similar way to what they've done with Realm of Gods, Majin Buu Saga, some of these larger categories, so for instance, time travelers, they need a super class and an extreme class leader. And what I think they could do is introduce a 170% time travelers leader that is really like super class centric. You could even slap on a secondary super class leader skill. So in the same way Trunks gets his secondary leader skill, I don't think they'll go too crazy. I think they wouldn't go over 120% for other super class allies. But what I think they'll do is he's going to be a time travelers leader at key 3, and 170% to attack, and then 150% to HP and defense. I know that that seems like a crazy busted leader skill, and it kind of is. It's not quite 170 all the way around, but time travelers, dude, all they need is like a leader. They don't have one like any of note, right? Like, there is Goku Black, who I think is arguably the worst category leader in the game. He is only saved. The only saving grace that that man has is his super attack animation is so good. And his trance still looks amazing to this day. Quite literally his only saving grace. No defense on his passive, that type of thing. But what else I think you could do with this guy in terms of his passive? I feel like they would probably be a bit more creative. But when I think of Vegito, I just think of him as being uber powerful. Just right off the rip, as soon as he transforms, he's Vegito. He's the strongest thing you've ever seen, right? I feel like what they should do is make him 150% attack and defense, start of turn. And then make him a support type unit for super class time travelers category allies. Now, this may be busted, and remember that this guy is going to be having high stats. I mean, presumably he's going to have high stats because he is one of two things. He's either a Dokkan Fest exclusive, or he's similar to like a Masked Saiyan or Tapion, where they have their own Dokkan event. Remember that he's got his own Dokkan event, so I feel like if you make him, again, make him super class centric, and then when we talk about this next unit in a minute, you could make the Super Saiyan 4 Broly an extreme class sort of version of this. But one thing that I did not talk about is his super attack. I mean, you don't need to be too creative there. Just have him greatly raise attack and defense or something, and then he becomes possibly the best TUR in the game at that point. The card that I just presented you is probably one of the best units in the game, so depending on their stats and such, but I think it would be a good time to move on to Broly. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, I probably will not need as much time to talk about. So Super Saiyan 4 Broly, all you do is you pretty much make him the inverse of Vegito. So you make him a time traveler's leader, 170% to attack, and then 150% to defense and HP, and of course key 3. I feel like this is a team that doesn't need a ton of key support, and that's why I suggested that Vegito was a 1 key support unit. And then on that secondary part of his leader skill, just make him key 3, 120% to extreme class. And I think you've got yourself a really, really good leader, right? There's a lot of really good extreme class time travelers. Think of a unit that came out with the last batch of Dragon Ball Heroes units. So a unit I talked about earlier in the video, Cumber, or, you know, Super Fu. So you think of some of these units and how much they would benefit from a leader skill like that. So giving them a lot of defense, giving them that 170% to attack, because like a unit like Cumber, like what are you running him on? I guess grade 8 power is one you can run on JP, but we do not have that on the global side of the game. I do want to put this out there in the universe. I do not think at all, I do not think they are going to introduce the grade 8 power category to global. That would completely make summoning for Gogeta null and void, except for that Gogeta is good. Like, obviously, he's like a really good character. I actually, this is controversial, but I don't think he's quite as good as some people make him out to be. I think he's obviously very good, a top TUR in the game, but I don't think he even touches Gohan. I think he's more like on the cooler sort of level. He had similar numbers to like Super Saiyan 2 Kefla or something like that. Like, he's really, really good, and yes, he can dodge and evade and counter super attacks and all those things, but that's a story for another video, and maybe my thoughts will change when I actually get to use him. But I guess moving on to the rest of Broly, so again, make him a similar passive. So on a super attack, what they like to do is they like to make Broly's lower defense. So just make this guy massively lower defense, and I think you've got yourself a pretty good card. Maybe build in some additionals to his passive or something like that. Something like the full power Broly. Make him a combination of a lot of these other Brolys. And I think you've got yourself a really, really good card. Again, maybe build in some additional. Maybe with the Vegito, you build in some crit or something like that. Like, really make these guys really good. You know, and then the rest of his passive, I don't know, man. You could give him 150%. How about 180% attack and defense on super attack? And again, make him a 1 key support unit. 1 key, 20% attack and defense to extreme class. You know what I mean? Just make him really, really good. And again, this is presuming that they want to have these two oppose each other. I don't know that they do or don't. You know, and there's certainly a lot more to this celebration, I think, than meets the eye. I think we're going to have a lot of good free-to-play units that come out. I think we're going to have some really, really sick Dokkan Awakenings. Like, think of some units that need some Dokkan Awakenings as well. Like, we still have, the Jeeks and Gohanks, they need Awakenings. The Demon version of Demigra, who, by the way, some of these Dragon Ball Heroes units, we have not had a really fair opportunity to get. And we'll talk about that in the last little segment of this video. But I feel as though we can move on to the next card in this video, and that would be Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. Now, remember, I was just talking about how I'm a little unsure of what they're going to do with these banners and with these units. Are these simply going to be, like, more Dragon Ball Heroes banners? Is this going to be a Dokkan Fest banner? Are they going to add these units to the general pool? Like, we don't know. Like, I would love that. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's just see what I'm thinking here with this Gohan. So what I think they could do with Gohan is it's going to depend on his typing. I feel like you're going to make him a subcategory leader of the Dragon Ball Heroes category. Go ahead and make him a 130% and 4-key leader to the Dragon Ball Heroes category. Now remember that Dragon Ball Heroes, historically, this category doesn't generally need a ton of key support, and it's because all of these units have Shattering the Limit. So what you could do is just make them a 4-key leader, and then that way basically everyone will auto super, right? That'll be really, really nice for the category. Again, a key 4 leader I think is really cool. And then whatever typing he is, you can just make him a 100% leader to his typing. Let's just say they want to buff. Maybe you make him super tech. and then maybe maybe Vegito can be Super AGL, and then make Super AGL a top contender for best typing in the game again. If they go Super STR, man, I don't even know what to think. If they make Vegito Super STR, I just don't even know anymore. I didn't mention what typing Broly should be, but definitely Extreme Tech. 100%, 1000%, 1,000,000% he should be Extreme Tech. But this Gohan, go ahead and make him Super AGL. I think that would be a good typing for him. Remember, Super AGL has not got a legitimate upgrade, like with a major unit, since AGL Bardock. Now, yes, Skinny Boo was Super AGL. So what, the Krillin on JP, he is Super AGL, but I mean, yeah, Boo is honestly really busted, but again, he's not like a legitimate upgrade. I guess you could call him a legitimate upgrade, but he's not really fitting in super well. He's not going to link up super well on that Super AGL team. I mean, yeah, he'll have Fierce Battle, but what else is he really going to share with anyone? You know what I mean? So, not his best team, you know, Super AGL. So, make this guy a Super AGL unit. I think that would be a really, really good choice. You could even do something like Dragon Ball Heroes / Hybrid Saiyans or something like that. Hybrid Saiyans is pretty good. They have gotten a few buffs over the year. The most recent one being Gotenks, right? But make him a subcategory leader. I think that'd be a good choice for him. They've been doing this thing with Gohans lately where they're giving them 58% damage reduction, and it's either gated by HP or it's not. So look at the High School Gohan, the World Tournament. He's just got unconditional 58% damage reduction. Give that to this guy. Super AGL needs a unit like that. Look at how difficult Extreme Super Battle Road is for Super AGL, and the reason is because a lot of those units are not meant to be just walloped on turn 1. You get a unit like that, or you could just straight up give them like 80% damage reduction for 10 turns. Something like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta that Super STR has. Give him something crazy like that, but probably they love their numbers in Dokkan. They'll probably just go 58% damage reduction and give him 158% attack and defense, just like Tech Gohan. And I think you've got yourself a busted unit. Now remember, he's not going to be hitting quite as hard as Tech Gohan, because this guy assuredly will not be a Dokkan Fest exclusive. But then you give him a chance to stun, give him a high chance to stun on his passive. I think he's looking very similar to like that Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku. And a Super AGL needs a unit like that so badly. So Bandai, hopefully you're going to take my advice when you watch this video, obviously, and make this unit really good. Make them really, really tanky. So let's move on to the last unit, Super Saiyan 4 Bardock. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, I'm feeling super int. I don't know why, but that's just what I'm feeling. So Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, again, just make him a sub-leader for Dragon Ball Heroes. I think it's going to be really important. The way that you get people to summon on these banners is they have to be able to run the categories, right? So if you're a new player, you probably don't have Super Fu. You might not even know who Super Fu is if you've never watched Dragon Ball Heroes. But again, you're going to have to make it so that new players can run the categories. So go ahead and make this guy another sub-leader for Dragon Ball Heroes. Just give Dragon Ball Heroes a bunch of leaders, because even if you drop 50 stones, you're guaranteed to get a featured unit. That's how these operate. These banners operate, and that they're 70% featured and 30% unfeatured, which is what I was talking about earlier in the video, saying that a lot of players have not had a good opportunity to pull some of those unfeatured units on the Dragon Ball Heroes banner. I myself don't have one single unfeatured unit. I pulled a ton of featured units on that Dragon Ball Heroes banner. I think I had a multi with 3 Super Saiyan 3 Gokus in it, which was probably the best unit on the banner, to be honest. But you make him Key 4, 130% to stats, and then 100% leader to Super Int. I mean, they'll probably give him a secondary sort of typing leader skill. I'm okay with it. And then for the design of his card, a lot of Bardocks in this game seal. So go ahead and make him a sealer. I think that would be a good idea. And then remember, at this point, you're going to be able to run him, make him a really good linking partner with like Super Saiyan 3 Bardock or something like that. Or if you really want to get our dicks hard, Bandai, give them all Saiyan Roar. Oh my god, give us more units with Saiyan Roar. That's one of the most busted links in the entire game. 25% attack, and then I believe it is 10% defense now after the link leveling update. Really, really good. So you make this guy seal, I don't know, man. You give him, and then also make him a support type unit. So give him 120% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then make him a 30% and 1 key support unit. Or you could go 2 key if you'd like. Remember that the Vegito is going to have Fierce Battle, and this is more or less confirmed, right? Because he's got a Dokkan event. So he's going to be a unit that is not going to have Shattering the Limit, so he might not auto super unless he gives himself key on the passive, or unless they make him a support type unit for the category, so something like that. I think regardless of what they do with these cards, I think that there's no question that they're all going to be good in their own way. Remember, even a unit like Vegeks, like he stacks defense infinitely, or Gohanks, he seals, he does some cool stuff as well, but I think that no question these guys are all going to be good in their own way. But I think some other things to be on the lookout for are some really good free-to-play units. They do this every celebration. They make some pretty good free-to-play units. I think they will follow suit in that regard. Obviously, a new story event will have a new Dokkan event that is confirmed. That was confirmed in the Dragon Ball Heroes live stream just a couple of nights ago. So I think some free-to-play units. Again, are they going to drop these units into the general SSR pool? Please, for the love of God. Oh my God, could you imagine on a multi, instead of pulling, let's just say, Super Saiyan AGL Super Vegeta, like, could you imagine if instead you pulled Super Saiyan 4 fucking Gohan? Like, you pull the Supreme Opie of Time, you pull the demon version of Demigra. Like, you pull some of these units instead of some of these fodder-ass units that we have currently. I think that this is the time. This is the time, Akatsuki, if you somehow, some way stumble across my humble channel of 370 subscribers, find it in your heart. Put these Dragon Ball Heroes units in the general pool, because global, we've never had a fair shot at pulling them. We've only had 2 ever Dragon Ball Hero banners, I believe. I'm pretty sure that we've only ever had 2. So this is going to be significant for global more than it is JP. Not to mention, if you look at the general pool, like, the odds of us pulling LRs on legendary summon banners are now extremely high. So if we look at the banners the way they sit, I think on JP there's roughly 230, 235 unfeatured SSRs. You combine that with 30 plus summonable LRs, I believe there's pushing 40 summonable LRs. You've basically got like a 10% chance per multi of pulling an LR. I mean, it's getting pretty ridiculous, the amount of LRs that are in this game. So I don't see much of a problem with diluting the pool, just assuming that, you know, these units are going to be good, which all of these Dragon Ball Heroes units are, but I could go on and on, I feel like, about this video. But if you enjoyed this speculation video, slap a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.